This is 37th Street Radio and TV, and of course, we are out here hooking you up with the best of the best when it comes to interviews. And today we have another special guest. So, guest, I'll just let you introduce yourself.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the party goddess, DJ Mimi. I come from Nairobi, Kenya, in the 254, located in East Africa. And I'm
Yeah,
proud to be here. I'm glad to be here. I'm the party goddess made of melanin.
yeah. So, I'm just interested to know when this journey of DJing really started.
Wow. Um, I have 9 years of experience right now. I started in 2013, June to be specific. That's when I graduated from the DJ Academy after being there for like 3 months. So professionally as a DJ, it was in June 2013. So that's 9 years right now.
So, you talked about being going to DJing school, and I just want to know the experience. People usually look up to being a doctor, pilot. Those are the careers that used to seem very cool until now we are seeing DJs even making more money than doctors, even lawyers. So at that
Uh,
time, uh, where did you even get the courage to just say, I'm doing this and I don't care what people think?
wow, I like the way you put it. You said courage. Yes. It requires courage definitely because DJing is an industry that is it's like it has a lot of masculinity to it because it's dominated by men. So until right now, okay, like right now they're starting to accept that women can also do this, but when I was starting it was really tough, and it was also tough convincing my family members that I want to do this. But this is not what I started with. When I finished high school, I joined university. I was doing journalism. Journalism is my profession, like that's what I went to the university to study, but I'm not practicing it. So I think my passion for DJing surpassed my passion for journalism. So I chose to follow my passion, but it isn't a walk in the park. It's really been a lot of struggles throughout my starting years. For the first like 4 years or so, it wasn't easy.
So let me ask you, like, let's say you get an opportunity right now to go on radio, go on TV, and to practice journalism. Will you take it, or you just want to stick to the DJing and maybe other things related to music?
Um, Going to do journalism as a profession on TV or radio. I could take it. Yes, the answer is yes and no. Yes is because unless it's my own media house that I have started, it's mine. I'm the boss. No, because I don't like living a life of slavery. Journalism is literally slavery. Sorry to the journalists, I'm not insulting anybody. I'm also a journalist, but you sacrifice your life for everybody. You don't have time for yourself. You're always there. You're the watchdog of the society. So I don't think I want to live that kind of a life. No. I like my freedom.
Let's talk about you uh, fresh from the DJing school, and now after school you have to start practicing. So at that time, if you remember, just talk to us about how was it looking for opportunities when you are not that known. In 2013, 2014, the internet hadn't blown up like the way many Kenyans right now, they're using gadgets. So how was it starting to practice when you don't have that big name out there?
It was tough. You had to be somebody who was extroverted, because extroverted in the sense whereby you're able to go out there and network, especially with other DJs who already have like the foundation in the working space. So you have to go and network with them so that once in a while you can be like their opening act. And that means you had to sacrifice going to work for free. most of the times back then. There's a time we used to even do pro bonos for the whole night. So pro bono means working, doing a gig like for the whole night, doing something for free. So we do pro bonos even for the whole night just to gain the experience and just to be able to show these managers or whoever is giving out the gig, whether it's a promoter or somebody, hey, I am worth it. I am good. I am skilled. I am confident. I am worth it. It's me. But you cannot just come and use your tongue to tell them, hey, I'm worth it. You have to show them that you're worth it. And then back then, lady DJs were not yet so many in the industry, and like right now, which is a good thing right now. At least we are many. Maybe that's why we are starting to get accepted slowly. Back then, we were fighting for the space with male DJs because there's a place we once went as we were like four female DJs. We went for a meeting trying to push for a gig. And this manager looks at us and he says, "You're ladies. Why are you doing a man's job? This job is not meant for you." And he leaves us at the table and walks away. So those are part of the challenges that we faced. So in order to get your foot in the door back then, you had to do a lot of pro bonos, go out and network a lot. And maybe perhaps between you and where you're going, you only have transport. You don't even have money to spend there. So you're there starving. You go, you starve, you sacrifice, you're not being paid, you're working for free. Those are some of the things you do. You're sacrificing your sleep. Maybe you're juggling between the DJing and your studies and maybe a part-time job. You have to sleep less hours, wake up early. Yeah, just for the passion.
Yeah, another issue is usually still in your early stages. I want to understand when you look at these DJing equipment. Of course, you just can't go there with a shoddy laptop in the middle of the party. Maybe it hangs or something like that, or shoddy equipment. So for you starting out, I want to know, like, in terms of equipment, how did you raise money to buy equipment? Did you hire for a while? Like, how was it at that time?
Okay, so when I was starting out, most of the clubs didn't require for DJs to play like videos in the clubs. It used to just be like disco, disco. So when it's disco, there was no need for transmitting videos on the screen. So Windows laptops could work very well back then. So if you had say now like me, I was in school doing journalism, definitely I had a laptop. I had a Windows laptop. So I was using that for status and that's where I stored my music. But currently right now, a DJ's requirement is that you're supposed to have a MacBook because the MacBook is what can handle that pressure. And not just any MacBook, it's a MacBook Pro. It can handle that pressure that comes with connecting each to those equipments and the televisions and transmitting all those transmitting the videos to all those screens clearly without it hanging. Because hanging is another problem. When stuff hangs, every customer is going to turn and look at you like, hey DJ, what's happening? If anything goes wrong in the club, everybody turns and looks at you. Hey DJ, even if it's not your fault. So you need to have at least a MacBook, which is not cheap. But when somebody is starting, what I would tell somebody who is starting right now, don't run to buy the MacBook. First, buy an external hard disk. That is the number one thing. Buy an external hard disk, buy headphones, invest in music. Because you need to buy music. It's not good to get free music. And downloading music off of YouTube, okay, it's nice. Sometimes it works, but the quality is usually not that good, the output sound. So for you to get good quality music, you need to buy it. So the investment somebody needs to start with is the external hard disk, your headphone, and investing in music. If you're lucky enough, if you're somebody who knows how to network, you could get music from other DJs. Say now, like me, if I'm a friend, you could come and be like, "Hey, Mimi, help me with this folder." So if I'm your friend, I could help you with it because I know you're starting out. Yes, me, I'm buying it, but with time you'll need to learn how to buy your music, buy your headphone, buy your hard disk. And slowly, as you're doing the gigs now, when they start paying you, you start saving bit by bit until you get to the point where you're able to buy yourself a MacBook. Then from a MacBook, you also start saving now slowly and buy your own set of DJing gear. That's like the decks, or it can be a controller, something like that. Because they're not cheap equipment, so you can't just buy them one off at once. Even if you're rich, you'll still suffer. You'll feel the pinch. These equipments are very expensive.
When DJing in club, I want to know how you are able to read the crowd, because this is a skill maybe many people they haven't mastered it. Even some artists, maybe when they go to stage, some don't know which song to perform to which crowd. So for you, doing this, you have said for almost 9 years, how are you able to know and gauge the crowd?
Well, I think it comes with the experience. It doesn't happen when you're just starting. It comes with the experience. The more you keep playing for different crowds, the more you learn how to study them. Don't be a DJ who plays music for yourself. You know, like me, there are some genres I don't like, but I look at the crowd and be like, okay, this is what they like, but I don't like it, but I'll still play it and try to enjoy it as much as possible, even if I don't like it, because the energy comes from me as the DJ and it transmits into the audience. So you study them, get to try and play with, like, it's a DJing is a psychological job. It's very, very psychological. You come, you drop the first, second, third song, do it as you're looking at them, studying them, seeing their reactions. They might not stand up and dance, but you look at maybe their facial reactions. Maybe are they nodding their heads? Are they like looking happy? Are they walking out, or are they still sitting and ordering more drinks and food? If that's happening, then you know you're on the good track. You know, okay, so I'm setting the pace properly. So this is what they like. And you proceed. But don't just play one genre throughout. You keep testing something new and see how they'll react to it. That's how you study the crowd. So, but it's a skill that sharpens with experience. The more you keep doing it, the more you start becoming better at it. When you're starting out at first, it's very hard to actually study a crowd. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's very hard because first you're even panicking. It's your first, maybe second or third gig. You're still panicking. You're excited. You just came out of an academy. You're now playing in front of a huge audience. Yeah.
Doing this for 9 years, as you say, here in Kenya, I guess you have seen a couple of sounds dominating our Kenyan market, because from 2013 we had there's a time that Tanzanian music bongo flavor was very big, and then Afrobeats was just on the rise, and you have seen gengeton, and right now we have amapiano. So I don't know if you are the right person to answer this, but just looking at all these things, all these genres rising up, and I want us to talk about gengeton because it is our very own. And guys were saying that it has declined. So you just being in this industry for all these years, what do you think maybe led to the decline? Because like Afrobeat, we see they are reinventing themselves every single day. So like for Kenyan artists, where did we go wrong maybe?
Damn. You're putting me on the spot with this one. These artists are my friends. They're going to get mad at me. Why are you putting me on the spot? Come on. You want them to hate me?
No.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Gengeton was not bad, okay? I'm not going to be in the percentage of people who say Gengeton is bad, Gengeton was work. No, Gengeton was not bad. I think what happened to Gengeton, maybe these kids did not know how to, I'm looking for the right word. I think they didn't know which words to use to camouflage the like explicit content. The explicit content in their lyrics. They just release it like it was raw, explicit content. And in Kenya, so far, our mainstream media, that means radio and TV, are not yet ready to play explicit content. So their first assassination started there. They were not being played on mainstream media. So Gengeton kids were relying mostly on social media and clubbing. So for clubbing, they were doing very good, by the way. In 2019, when they came out, Gengeton was heavily being played in the clubs, I'll tell you for free. It was like Gengeton on rotation. Clients will come and be like, play me Lambalolo and all those things. Then 2020, COVID happened. So we go on lockdown. Clubs are closed for, I don't know, almost past a year. And Kenyans, when a new trend comes and the other one is still not being pushed, they just jump on the new one, they forget the previous one. Okay. So when clubs resumed, Amapiano had taken over. And what made Amapiano take over was also social media. So during that pandemic time, to some extent, I personally, this is my opinion, I feel like the Gengeton kids went and relaxed. I don't know whether it was the whole pandemic thing also affecting them, because some of them, you know, they were actually really sacrificing themselves. Some of them, I understand, would foot all the way to the studios, borrow money to do these things. So during that curfew time, whom would you go and borrow money to go and do a project? Nobody will give it to you. So maybe that's why they kind of slowed down with releasing their stuff. And that slowing down, that small slight window that just went like this, that's the chance that Amapiano took. And Amapiano ran with this thing. So when now clubs resumed, everybody is now demanding for Amapiano. And Amapiano is being played even on mainstream media. And now mainstream media also affects what customers ask for. Because when they come to the club, they'll come and be like, hey, DJ, I want this song. Maybe you as the DJ, then you've never heard that song. They write it for you, but you can tell the customer, I've never had this thing. You go on YouTube immediately and start looking for it. Why is this customer asking you for this thing? Because they've had it on mainstream media, on the radio. Maybe they were driving home or driving to work. They had it there. And maybe they had it being played like 3 or 4 times in a day. It's going to stick in their head. And then right now there's TikTok. TikTok became popular during the pandemic. Somebody is on their phone doing something. People are sharing TikTok videos on their statuses. Maybe the same song is also going viral on TikTok. So this song is going to stick in the customer's head. So when they come to the club, they'll be like, I want this song, simply because it's been played to the point whereby it has to get into the client's mind, whether he or she wants or doesn't want it, and they'll end up just accepting it. So that is what killed Gengeton. But Gengeton was not actually bad. I feel like maybe these kids should go sit down and try to re-strategize, try to look at the loopholes, like what was making us not get played in mainstream media. Let's work on that. If you're releasing a song that has explicit content, look for words to cover the explicit words and release maybe 2 versions of the same song. You release a clean one and a dirty one. Just like Loyal of Chris Brown, it has clean and dirty version. So you find the clean version is being played on mainstream media. You find the dirty version is being played in the clubs. It's a win-win situation. If it's the videos, if you feel like maybe girls are over twerking or something, they seem nude or something in the videos, and it's what is stopping TVs from playing your video, ask your video editor to give you 2 versions of the video, the same video. The next one, they'll just edit it and use something like a mirroring effect, whereby they just cut part of the parts that seem explicit. That way, the mainstream media have no excuse for not playing your songs. Because let's be honest, as much as we think mainstream media is dead, it isn't. People listen to radios while driving to work and driving back home, or when they're going to have brunch with their friends. And then during the weekend, when they're sitting at home with their families, they're watching TV. So they're going to consume whatever they're hearing from the mainstream media. People who are more active on social media are young guys. Okay? Young guys. And those young guys are the ones who will be like demanding for maybe the explicit content, because now they're the ones who are over consuming what social media is giving out to them. But you cannot just entirely depend on social media as an artist. You need both social media and mainstream media. So the Gengeton kids, I'd tell them, don't give up. Just sit down, go back to the drawing board and try to figure out what wasn't working and come up with new strategies. And continue trying to push the Kenyan sound, because right now in Kenya, we don't have a sound. Gengeton was trying to become our sound, but see, it's been assassinated. But not completely. It hasn't been completely assassinated completely. So if they can try to revive it, well and good, but let them do it in a much better way. Even for Amapiano to be accepted worldwide, they really had to struggle with it for some years. Amapiano didn't just pop up in the scene in 2020. It's been there. It's just that we as Kenyans have not yet discovered it before, but it's been there. And these guys have been struggling to try and push it. And they shouldn't be like, DJs are not the ones playing our music. No. Mainstream media influences what these people come and demand for. So if a radio presenter is pushing, say now like you, you start pushing on your radio. Every time you're pushing a certain song, say maybe it's Burna Boy. So you're playing Burna Boy in the morning. You come and play Burna Boy at 12. You play Burna Boy at 4. You play the same Burna Boy again at 6. You play him at 9. What do you think the customer not customer, the audience that listens to your show from morning to evening, what do you think they'll come and ask for when they come to the club?
Burna Boy.
Exactly. So you find that you as a DJ, when the customer comes and tells you, hey, there's this new song by Burna Boy, I want you to play it for me. They write it maybe on a serviette or on a paper and send a waitress with it, or they come themselves up to the DJ booth and be like, kindly play me this song. Yes, the DJ. You can't refuse to play the customer's request. At the end of the day, the customer is always right. Because you don't want to risk this customer getting mad, finish his or her drink and food and walk out to the next club simply because you refuse to play their request. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because you hardly find a client in the club coming to say, hey DJ, can you play me Gengeton? It is so hard. If they actually request for a Kenyan song, it's mostly the old Kenyan songs. They'll come and ask for maybe Isa, or maybe currently they'll ask for Sauti Sol, Nyashinsky, those kind of guys. But it's very, very hard for them to come and be like, hey, do you remember Sailors? Can you play me their song? Nah. In fact, some of them have even forgotten that there were these groups. And these kids are good. These kids are talented. I'm telling you the truth. Actually, if they actually follow your content and they end up listening to me, I want to tell them that they are very talented. They are very skilled. They should just go back to the drawing board. They don't need to go back together as a group. Somebody can do their projects on their own, or pick one person in the group whom they feel like they sync together properly and they try to work out something. And that is called rebranding. They should try and rebrand themselves, but they shouldn't sleep on their talent. Talent is gold. Trust you me. It might take very long to pay you, but talent is gold. It will put you in places that you never thought you'd ever reach.
Yeah. I also want us to talk about another issue, and this is just about the technology. And I want to know how you deal with the changing technology. Nowadays, we have seen technology changes very fast. You have equipment. Next year, you maybe get information. There's this other new equipment. It's the best in the market. Maybe I know you are using a software right now, and then after like 6 months, you hear that there's another new software. It's better than this one. So how do you deal with these changing technologies?
Well, time is not stagnant, yeah? Time keeps moving and things keep changing as time moves. So you as a creative, you also have to move with time. You cannot stay back there, like as if you're using a time machine. Life rolls forward with time. So the same way the equipments will keep evolving. So as they keep evolving, you also just have to keep evolving with them. But now the advantage with like DJing equipments, they don't release something that is so different from the previous one. They're usually similar, but just slightly upgraded. So that when you're trying to transition from the old one to the new one, you're not really struggling. It's not like starting to learn something new all like from scratch. That is the advantage to it. The only thing that maybe some people struggle with is that you need to get some softwares that you have to pay for. And like back then, the softwares were free. So some of these softwares you have to pay for and get a key and put it, and you can't share the key with other DJs. Because for like the previous one, some of them you'd have to buy, but you were able to share the same key. Like you could share the same login key, like 8 DJs, and it wouldn't get blocked. So right now, there are some softwares whereby you cannot share the key. The key is only accessible to one user. So those are maybe the slight challenges that come with technology evolving, of which that is inevitable because, as I told you, time is not stagnant and things have to keep changing. So with time, you just have to learn how to move with time in things the way they are evolving.
Yeah. I just want you to talk to guys who are starting out, ladies, even guys who maybe want to start pursuing music, something just to do with entertainment, as we are finishing up, from your experience, maybe what can you tell them to watch out in the industry? What should they maybe do, just from your experience that you have learned over these years?
Watch out. What can I tell them to watch out for now? I don't think there's something they need to watch out for, because in this industry, everything is a learning process, even the ones where you do mistakes. And it is very good to do mistakes, by the way, as you're going along. It's life. Life, you have to do mistakes and fail. If you're not failing, then you're not doing something right. You have to fail. Don't do things perfectly and be like, hey, no, you're not doing something right. Fail. Let people criticize you. That's how the best of you will come out. That's how you learn how to handle situations. So I don't think I can tell them to watch out for something. There's nothing to watch out for. They should just be open-minded. Be open-minded to face anything. And showbiz, one thing I'll tell somebody now about showbiz is that it is an industry that requires you to have thick skin. Don't come here if you're a softy. When I talk of softy, I'm meaning like somebody who is like, how can I put it? Somebody who doesn't have like the strong willpower to handle things thrown at them. In showbiz, you'll have a lot of things thrown at you. Somebody could just look at you and be like, I don't like that guy's nose. And they start trolling you for no reason. How will you handle it? You need to learn how to handle it. For such people, you pay them a deaf ear. In fact, those are your biggest fans. Those keyboard warriors are your biggest fans. If you actually put tomorrow something whereby people need to buy tickets, those guys who troll you will be the first to buy those tickets because they want to come and see you live. Your own real fans and people who know you, your friends, they'll hardly support you. Maybe just a few will support you. People who will not tend to come and support you once you become a big deal. Because they're like, we know him or her and all that. So those guys who hate you, they're your biggest fans. So they just need to learn how to yeah, there are a lot of people who are like arrogant. It comes with the fame. The arrogance comes with the fame, but you as an individual don't need to let the arrogance get into your head because you become famous or because you're becoming popular. At some point, he who climbs up the ladder has to come down. Okay? So when you start being arrogant when you're up there, you're gonna meet these guys who are with you at the bottom while you're coming down or while they're passing you on that ladder going way up than you. Now, if you are arrogant, nobody's going to want to associate with you in your time of crisis because this industry, right now, you will be the guy in demand or the lady in demand. Okay. And then after like a year or two, it's not you. Somebody else is on demand. What are you going to do during that time when you're not on demand? And you still need to work because you can't stay stagnant. You have to stay humble. Humbleness it's like a catalyst for this job. Stay humble, be hardworking, or is it they say some people say work smart, whichever works for you. If you want to work smart, good, as long as you're not defrauding somebody or stealing or killing. Have discipline. This job requires a lot of discipline. Learn how to network. What else? Learn how to do research. Because music is DJing is about researching. You have to keep researching every time. Your brain has to be like an external hard drive that has music storage in it. Challenge yourself. Play for crowds that you think you wouldn't manage to play for. Take jobs that feel challenging. It helps you grow as a DJ and as a person. So it's beneficial for your own personal life and also for your career because it teaches you to handle situations whereby you would be panicking. Even in real life, we tend to have situations whereby we have panic attacks. It might not really come to you as a panic attack, but sometimes you have like those anxieties. So when you learn how to handle these situations, it comes in handy for both your personal and your career life. What else? Oh, and then this job requires a lot of aggressiveness. You cannot just be sitting at home and you're like, me, now these guys already know me. Let me wait for them to call me for the job. Nobody's going to call you for this job. It's like the saying, get your degree, put it in the house, and go and hustle like a school dropout if you want to be rich. It's the same thing with this industry. Don't sit in the house and be like, they're gonna call me. Even if you're an actor, you have to go for auditions. Nobody's gonna call you and be like, hey, there's this role and I think it's gonna suit you. Could you come and take it? You have to go for auditions. It's the same thing with DJing. You have to go out and look for those jobs, even if it's a place where you're known. Because you're many. You're very many. Why should I give you a job because I know you yet? I know the other DJ is better than me.
Yeah.
So you have to go put yourself there. Even if people know you don't have entitlement. Nobody owes you nothing. Nobody owes you anything in this industry. And then keep practicing. DJing is like driving a car. You have to keep practicing every day, even the best of the best that you think are the best, they always practice. You have to keep practicing. It's a learning process, just like the way they say, life is a learning process. Is there something now with DJing? You just have to keep learning and learning and learning. There's no stop to learning. If you want to be among the best of the best, you have to keep learning. Yeah. I think that's the advice I have for them.
Yeah. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We really wish you all the best.
Yes, I actually appreciate being here. I know we've tried to do this since like last week. I've just been so busy. I'm sorry I've been so busy. I didn't manage to come out. Today I'm feeling so tired. I have eye bags. Sorry guys, I have eye bags. I haven't had enough sleep because literally this job you can't manage to sleep. Come back at home when the sun is coming out, and during the day you can have a peaceful sleep because it's during the day anyway. Even if nobody is making noise for you, you can't have a peaceful sleep. So yeah, I have eye bags. I'm feeling fatigued, but here I am. I'm very happy to be here. 37th Street. Why do you call it 37th Street?
It's just a name.
On the 37th Street.
No, it's just a name. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I hope I didn't speak too fast for your listeners because I know I can talk really fast. Like, yeah.
No.